Hello and welcome back to Blake's Den. If it's your first time watching my channel, then hello, you're welcome. This is my 1989 Austin Mini designer project, and I'm going to continue the process of getting the engine removed by removing the engine bay wiring. So let's make a start. So if you have been following the video series on this, you will know that I've been doing loads of tasks to get the engine removed. I've kind of lost a tiny bit of momentum on it recently, only because one, I bought myself a big generator and spoiler alert, it doesn't work. So I've been trying to fix that. And then today as well, I've just woken up my Rover Mini Cooper MPI from winter hibernation. So just started up and fired up and just ran perfectly, so I didn't even do a video on that. But yeah, today I'm going to start removing the wiring from the Project Designer. So a quick look at the engine bay and you'd probably think, oh, there's not a lot of wiring in here, just rip it all out. So I've got the alternator's coming out, the alternator has wiring. You've got the water temperature sender, you've got the oil pressure sender, you've got the feed to the distributor, you've got the wires into the coil, you've got the main loom coming in here which runs along the front and also feeds things like the horn and the headlights. And then you've also got the main starter cable which runs from the back, because obviously the battery's in the back, to the starter motor, and then wiring from that starter motor to the starter solenoid. So yeah, it's actually more than you think. So I'm just going to work through this methodically. I'm going to label up all the bits as I go. And yeah, so hopefully it'll be nice and easy when it goes back together in the future. So first thing I'm going to do, I think, get the alternator out, because I know that comes out dead easy. So let's do that. So just before I remove the alternator, I'm going to make a label with my label maker for the water temperature sender. So I'll just print out now. That's like incredibly loose, so I'm not sure if the connector is a bit broken. But that might be something I need to sort out in the future. So what we'll do, we'll put the label on here. So I know in the future, when I put this all back together, that this cable is for the water, and I won't have to worry about thinking, is it the oil? Is it something else? Is it a random wire which isn't used? So that's on there, and then we'll get that out the way, because that goes into the main loom. And to get the alternator off, it's dead simple, just undo the nuts and bolts. Two at the top and one at the bottom. So yeah, I'll get that done now. So at the top here, it's just some 1/2 inch hardware. You can get away with using 13 on it, provided it's not that tight. It's only 0.3 millimeters difference. So yeah, it's slackened off now. So yeah, I'll do the same on the other side as well. A bit trickier because of positions of stuff. All relatively simple. Yeah. Being very careful here not to lose any of the washers. So you're probably going to need the washers when you put it back together. So I've just got a metal magnetic parts tray to put all the bits into. I mean, you might need the washers just to align it and get the perfect sort of belt alignment. Let's take a bit of weight off. There we are, that's one bolt out. And then yeah, I'll do the same on the other side, and then I'll flip you around the other side to show you what to do with the bottom one. And there we are, that one's out as well. So I'm not sure how well you can see this, but there is a bolt there, and that's the pivot for the alternator, so that has to come off as well. So once the bolts are undone, it's a case of popping the belt off and then lifting up the alternator. And of course you need to remove the wiring plug from the back of it. And actually what I'll do, I'll just pass it through the grill at the front. That'll be easier. And I've got one alternator removed. I don't know how well the camera will pick this up, but this is actually what I believe is the original alternator, 2088, so that'll be the 20th week of 1988. My car's an F-Reg from 1988, but it was sold in 1989. So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these fasteners back in, just to keep it safe, and that can go in the cupboard. So with that out the way, and looking in from the grill, you can see that this bit of wiring can come out. This is to the indicators. I'd previously labelled that up. Ind when I took out the probably the wing actually when I did that and did all the front end work. So you've got this green wire comes out of the loom here, which goes to the distributor. So it's actually a white and black going to the green. So we can undo that, and then we can label that one up as well, and then we'll work our way along and we'll start removing the ones from the starter motor. With the half nut taken off, I can get the main feed off now, get that out of the way, and then these two other power feeds, they can also come off, so they can be bent out the way. And then I think for these two ones I'm just going to label them up top and bottom, and I'll know which ones they are hopefully when I put it back together. But with them all labelled up and disconnected now, I can move up to the coil. So the coil I already removed in an earlier video because I had to do that to get the heating or the cooling duct out of the wing. So that has 3 connections, and it's labelled negative on this side and positive on this side. So all I need to do is label those up as sort of coil plus, coil minus. And then this one is the suppressor thing which stops radio interference. I just need to label that up so that it goes to coil positive. Yeah. And then I can take the coil out of the way, and then we can start stripping back this wiring. So with all that labelled up and removed, I can take the coil away, put that somewhere safe. And I can also label up this one, which I believe is the oil pressure switch. So I've just made a label for that as well. Some of these labels aren't sticking very well. I think the wiring is a bit dirty, but what I'm finding is, just dropped it. What I'm finding is if I sort of loop it, if I print the label quite big, then loop it around and stick it to itself, it tends to stay okay. I had one on the battery cables, wouldn't stay on, so I just cable tied that on. So now that should be all the wiring out of the way here, so I can start feeding the coil, not the coil, feeding the wiring loom back through and out the way. So I've just flipped you around the other way so you can get a better view of this. But I mean, if you're taking the engine out, you don't have to remove all this wiring from the engine bay. I'm just doing it because I want to paint the engine bay while I'm in there. So yeah, that one's now out, and then this one sort of, it runs up into the sort of underside here, and it's just clipped in place with a metal clip. So if I pull that now, just being careful with it, just in case I've not disconnected anything. Come on, it's all tangled up here. Oh, it's caught on the distributor cap clamp. There we are. That's just the vacuum hose for the distributor. So I'll get that tucked out the way, and then that'll give us clear access. And then hopefully as well you can see this. There's just a little grommet here and a little bracket which is holding on the main power feed. So what I'll just do with that is I'll just loop it underneath the starter motor so it doesn't get caught on it, and that can come out the front as well. And I think that's us for wiring. So yeah, that's everything pulled out the way, safely put there. Obviously you could then take it back further, you can unclip the loom the main loom that goes along here, and I will be taking that out to paint it. It goes all the way back through a wiring clip and then into the bulkhead. We'll move that around when we need to move it around. So yeah, just quick scan around. There's nothing else attached except the speedo drive cable, which I understand it's best to take that out when the engine's half lifted. And I've still got my gear linkage and gearbox support still attached. But I'm going to take them off in another video. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I think my advice to you is, if you're doing this, is don't be scared by electrics. Label your wires as you go, and it will make life far easier when you put it back together. Having said that, I know I've got some dodgy wiring going on up here. So I've got 3 inline fuses, including that, and different colour wires and everything. So I've got all that to sort out sometime in the future, but that's not for now. But yeah, just be methodical, label things up, and it'll be much easier when you put it back together. So thank you for watching. If you liked this video, press that like button. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments below. I respond to all of my comments and questions. And if you like what I'm doing on the channel, then consider pressing the subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing, but helps me out massively with the channel. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.